Hey, good morning, COD students. So we are 4 weeks through our course, Personal and Community Health. You have 4 modules, or 8 weeks left to go, but 4 modules. Our next module coming up is on flexibility, and your requirements for that module are threefold. You need to complete the assigned reading, which is included in the module. It's chapter 5, again, on flexibility. You are then going to participate in the discussion, which is titled Your Experiences with Stretching. And lastly, you are going to take a short quiz. So with the discussion, what I'm asking for is, you're basically, like the title says, your experiences with stretching. I assume that everybody will have had some type of experience with some type of structured stretching program, even if you have to go as far back as elementary school or middle school or high school physical education. I'm guessing that they taught you some stretches and you perform those stretches as part of class. I also want to hear, if you were part of a sports team and you stretched, maybe you just exercise on your own and you have a stretching routine that you include in there. You're going to tell me about kind of how you feel when you have consistently stretched. I'm hoping that you've had a period of your life when you're consistently stretching. And then, maybe you can, for those that maybe haven't had a consistent stretching routine, are there areas where you feel you are chronically tight? So these could be, you could name a muscle group. You could talk about a motion that is difficult for you. Maybe it's difficult for you to get on and off the floor or bend down and touch your toes, that type of thing. And then another thing you could include, right? So I want you to include things that apply to you, is what type of stretching you have done or you currently do. And the article that you're going to read or the chapter that you read covers various types of reading. So it covers static stretching, dynamic, ballistic. It covers active and passive stretching. What I'm looking for in this discussion is not only that you answer the question, but that you demonstrate to me that you have done the reading. So again, we're looking at a 2-week segment of the class, portion of the class, and you have this discussion, which is a big part of that 2 weeks. So I should see more than just a few paragraphs, right? So go into detail. You should have plenty to write about as far as either telling me about your experiences. If you don't have much experiences with stretching, then kind of maybe outline, maybe, like I said, where you feel tight or where you feel limited, and then maybe even go into, because the article is going to suggest, developing a routine or that type of thing. Outline for me how you're going to build stretching into your life, or some perceived, again, the article goes through benefits, some perceived benefits you could have from a stretching routine. So again, I need to see that you've put some thought, put some time into your reply, and that you've read the assignment, right? So if someone can go through and tell me, I do this stretch routine, these stretches are dynamic, I do them after I exercise, that shows me that they understand what a dynamic stretch is and that they've potentially, or in all likelihood, read the assignment. Okay, so you are going to, again, reply to my question, and then you're also going to reply to at least one of your peers' posts. Okay, so for this assignment, example might be myself. I could say, I've stretched off and on my entire life, right? In grade school, and through physical education, we performed stretches, as part of and back then it was daily PE, all the way up through middle and high school. Stretching is part of physical education. Stretching with sports all the way through college was part of my routine and experiences. I would say I didn't put probably as much time into it as I should, particularly as I got into high school and college, and then immediately out of college. Again, I'm a physical therapist, so once I went back to school and got into physical therapy, again, I learned some of the benefits and techniques for stretching, got more into it, and I would say I really didn't delve too in depth or too committed, I guess I would say, too committed into stretching until I started to experience some injuries in my late 30s and early 40s. So now I currently stretch before and after exercise. So I go for a run most mornings. I will typically do more of a dynamic stretch before I go out the door. All of this is an active stretch, right? I'm not having anybody stretch me out, but an active dynamic stretch before exercise, and then a active static stretch after exercise. And so if we go kind of look at what those mean, right? So a static stretch is what I learned in PT school was hold it for at least 30 seconds, right? You're looking, and your article brings this up, you're looking to kind of move into the plasticity of your muscles and tendons, right? So if we think about your muscles and tendons, they have elastic components and plastic or plasticity components. An elastic component is like a rubber band, right? You stretch it, it's going to spring right back. A plasticity refers to the ability of a muscle or a tendon to maintain a length if it's put with enough time and force into that position, right? So if I stretch, say, my hamstrings, for example, and I hold it for 30 seconds with a certain amount of force to get that muscle stretched out and held for at least 30 seconds, I can expect that I will get some plasticity. It's almost like taffy, right? So taffy, you stretch it out, it maintains that length. So that's your goal when you are stretching. You want to create some length in the muscle and tendon. Yeah, so again, just kind of like I just did there. Tell me your past experiences with stretching, what you're doing now. Demonstrates that you've done some reading, right? So throw some of the key words from the reading assignment in there so that I understand that you have read the material and are comprehending it. And then that way I can reply to you and address, I guess, any misconceptions if I perceive that through your answer that you're not understanding the material. Yeah, so get that in. That's worth 10 points this time, because you have a quiz that is worth the rest of your 10 points. So you're going to complete this discussion. Also then look within the module, there is a 5-question quiz on flexibility. Again, this is helping me assess your understanding of the material, because with the past, I would say, modules 3 and 4, I was not certain that some of you were picking up the material. So you have 2 attempts to do the quiz, right? So if you do the quiz once, get some questions wrong, go back, read the assignment, and take the quiz again. Your score for your grade will be your best score out of the 2 attempts at the quiz. Reach out to me, as always, if you have any questions or concerns. You can email me at bkfitzpatrick@collegeofthedesert.edu. Thanks, and like I said, for most of you, great work so far. If you've been sending me some short answers, just step it up a little bit, and we will all be good for our last 4 modules. Take care. Have a great couple weeks.